1 month. So, first I will ask Mr. Alfred Arana to say a few words.
Clifton doesn't cease to surprise me always. And I mean, if at all anybody should go first, it should be Quadras. There is somebody else who wants more. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Clifton would like to say that I am in the queue. I'm the third to go. And probably I should have been the first. But then we belong to the club of 2 daughters. Right? I think I must share this with you that I had nowhere in my mind ever to go public. For that matter, this evening I was in very august company and we shared some very few intimate things. Among many things, I was even called a builder and a constructor or whatever. And I had sworn that I would never have partners in my life, and I don't have any partners. So I own the whole company myself. So going public was completely out of the question. But for most of you who know Clifton personally, you know how convincing he can be. 2 years back, I had decided that I am going to hang my boots. And I had already retired at 40 and I am now 59. And I said that enough is enough. I have 2 daughters who are not interested in the business. So might as well as Sachin Tendulkar resigned when he was doing well. In most of the activities that I do, I am number 1 in my domain. So I said, why not get rid of it, get rid of the whole company and cash out and enjoy retirement as it should be. And then broke the news to my daughters when we had a family powwow and a woman empowerment. These girls convinced me that I should not sell. And all of a sudden they said that, Daddy, we're going to get into the business. So I tried my best to try to find out whether they were really seriously interested. So I said, listen, just because you are daughters, just because you are related, you don't have to feel compared, you don't have to feel obligated. Go do whatever you want to do. Because typically, like most children, my daughters have been entrepreneurs, one of which from shoe design to garments to tourism to independent producer for MTV, they've done it all. Merchandising and what have you. So I said, you're good at whatever you do. So go chase whatever you want to do. You don't have to do what I am doing. But they kind of convinced me, and I kind of suspect that Clifton was also behind the scene prodding them. So as I had this bias in me that I would never have partners, so the next best thing to do is take the public as a partner. And under sub. So I said I'll take the public as a partner, and so therefore the story went off, and maybe if I decide I can be Quadras also through the listing. If I decide I want to do that. I'm a lazy man in life. You can't force me to do anything until I want to really do it. So this time around I have taken a back seat and it's my daughters who's going to do it. So the testimony is that I think I'm convinced now that it's a good thing to unlock value in the stock exchange. It's the best thing that anyone can think. And if you have somebody like a guide and a mentor like Clifton, I think you can blindly follow that. And things should only happen good. So thank you, Clifton, and thank you for your patient hearing. And have a good evening.
Thank you, Alfred. Thank you. Alfred runs a company, Kawashi Velamji, which is the largest offshore company. Now, as I already introduced Mr. Quadras to you, he is the largest automotive dealer in the state of Goa. He has agencies in the two-wheeler, Yamaha, Mahindra, Suzuki, Vespa, four-wheeler, Renault, petrol pumps, Hindustan Petroleum, batteries, Exide, and also into lubricants. And he is very ambitious, aims to take his company to great heights. We are all supporting him, and we are happy to support him because his response is very fast. He takes actions which are very, very fast, and that is the way a company grows. Before Mr. Quadras takes the mic, I would tell you an incident about one of a promoter of a company whom I had met about 5 years back. And that time he had decided to raise 4 crores, 4 to 5 crores. Till date, he's just completed 20% of the work. When I asked him why so much of a hurry, he said, what's the hurry? Didn't understand that he was making his business also doing well. There was a 20% margin. So let us say that 4 years earlier, he would have gone and raised that amount. And if he had raised 5 crores, 20% of that today, it would have almost doubled his investment and profits would have doubled. But many people don't realize that. Quadrus is one who realizes that, and he knows time is money, and he has to be quick. And therefore, he's the first person, I think, most likely from what I understand and what I got latest information is that he is almost 95% of his compliances and documentation done. The last 5% may take about maybe 15-20 days, and I think before the year end possibly he hopes to hit the target. So, Mr. Quadrus, a few words from you.
Alfred, I belong to a club of single daughters, so I should be first. Basically, I started the business myself. I'm first generation entrepreneur. I basically, being from Goa, belong to a family of academicians and educators. So we are 8 siblings, 6 brothers and 2 sisters. Both are teachers and brothers are lecturers and engineers. I have been a black sheep of the family actually, on the business. Started as again coming back to my education, I came to Bombay to finish MBA, and I had such a time in Bombay that with malice towards none, I didn't like Bombay. The day I finished my last exam, I ran off from here and started something in Goa. That's why I started. I started from zero. I'm lately authoring a book. Make money without money. So I started business without money and I made a lot of money. We started with 2-3 partners who had some money, and I was the working head, and we started a small 2-wheeler service station called LML. Those days was a heat scooter. If you remember LML, they would say that you had to book a scooter and the child would get married, and that time you would get it. So we had a service station, and from there we grew on to being a distributors for spare parts for Goa and being a dealer for LML for Goa, and then suddenly LML goes berserk over the country. They go bankrupt and they make us also bankrupt when we were just coming up. So came out of the bankruptcy totally and started with Suzuki in 2006, and from there on it was no looking back. With Vespa, Renault, Mahindra, Yamaha put together, we are almost a 150 crore turnover company this year. And actually saying I had never thought of going public. But when I had spoken to Clifton sir came up with this thought, and I thought it was really a good idea. And today we have, I think we are almost 95 or close to 100% of the work. By end of November we intend to list the company, and all work and all hard work and praises go to Clifton. Clifton, thank you very much, and thank you everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Quadrus. You are right. In 1989, I booked for an LMN scooter, paid the money. Till now, no sign. And now we have Mr. Gilbert Baptist of Malaika Appliances, who's also signed up with a merchant banker and is in the advanced stage of getting his company listed. He started off very small, 60 square feet and 1 showroom. Today, he has 23 showrooms with spreading over 2 lakh square feet in the state of Karnataka and Maharashtra. and he has ambitious plans to move up to 100 stores in the next 4 to 5 years. Mr. Gilbert.
Everybody I must get first prize. Alfred has 2 daughters, you have 2 daughters. He has 1 daughter, I have 3 daughters. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To give you a brief history of my company, my company name is Malay Appliances Private Limited. I came to Mumbai in the year 1985 after my education. I worked for a company like Roskar as a service engineer, sales and service engineer. After that, I got an opportunity to work in a company, electronic company, who were manufacturing components to all these industries like those days. So, Onida, Sony Watson, Nelco, and Sharp companies. That time I got an opportunity to develop a component. That is, those days, the government has, telling all these companies, we have to indigenize some of the components. You cannot use 100% components. Slowly, you have to indigenize. So that time I got an opportunity to develop components, and those days, the company has to go to Japan to get the approval. And the first attempt, I designed one transformer, and the company like Onida, they sent it to the JD's company and got it approved. Then the manager of the company, they told me, why can't you start your small business? I said, I don't have capital. I came from Mangalore, a small village, and I stayed with one of my aunts here, who they gave me good support. As Clifton said, the area like 60 square foot, the area like Sakinaka, I started one small manufacturing company, making all own components. If you can see the old television sets, if you open and see, majorly 50%, I can say 30% of the components are manufactured by Malaika. You can see the sticker on those components. When the industry grows, then the competition becomes very stiff. Then have diversified into the retail. And one place was left out of 200 square foot. But my employer told me, sir, why can't we start selling the goods? So we started one small showroom. From that showroom, we multiplied. We used to have the manufacturing as well as retailing. Slowly, we stopped manufacturing and started outsourcing the products. Now, the one store is become now 23 stores. Not only on electronics retail stores, we are into garments, exclusive garments. In South, you can see the craze for wedding sarees, silk sarees. It's very good business. There's no problem for the delivery, the service. Only just sell it, get the money, and enjoy the profit. As ambitions, when I met Mr. Clifton, he told me, what is ambition? I said, yeah, I want to have more and more stores. So he told me, how can you, with the profits, you cannot, go for more stores. Then he gave me an idea of, going for limited company. So we processed, and he helped me, and he is now is guiding me, and very soon our company will be listed. Friends, in a business, what I believe is you have to take a risk. I'll give a small example. What my uncle told me. Whenever I speak, I give the example. My uncle, he was working for Reserve Bank of India as a clerk, and his colleague, as a clerk, those days the salary was very less. The being a name was very big, Reserve Bank of India. But what was the salary they used to get? It was not enough to to have their own lovely food. A friend of my uncle was telling my uncle, with this salary, can I have a house? Can I get married? Can I give education to my children? We keep on telling the same thing. But my uncle, what he did, the same salary, the group of some of his colleagues, they bought one place, built some of the house like in Media Colony, and he got married. He had 4 daughters, and he gave them good education, and he got them married. And now he is 89 years old. He is living a happy life. The same his colleague saying, with this salary, can I get a house? Can I get married? And his thinking is, he was not able to take a risk. And without getting married, with a house, he got rid from this bank. See, in a business also, what I believed is, you have to take a risk, and with the risk only you can grow a company. I thank Clifton, give me opportunity to be here, and I'm sure he's going to, the Manaika will be, soon it's going to be listed, and the shareholders are going to be benefited. Thank you very much.
You've already, hello. Now I call upon Mr. A.V. Ravi to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Yes. Good evening, everybody. Okay, I happen to be the jury member. And before that, I want to tell you, I and Clifton's friendship go back very long time. Not many people know that he was the editor of a magazine called Fortune India, and I was the assistant editor. That magazine is defunct now. Now it's, I think, renamed as Corporate India. So I know Clifton before his marriage days. The only difference between him and me is, I thought I was very smart and successful, but I'm broke. He's smart, successful, and making money, just to hand over his money. So that's the difference between a journalist and a businessman today. So anyway, I went to the short list of essays that was sent to me, and I found that some of them were extremely well written, and others were okay. And there was some commonality on all the essays which came to me, the short list essays. They had the same author, like they quoted from a book written by Dr. Vincent P. Then Secret by Rhoda Byrne and Dhirubhai Ambani. So what occurred to me is all these people have done, they've used Google extensively, and they've not used imagination. So we, the prints, or the we call it cut and paste. But some of them articulated the vision very well. So to me, I'm reminded of ancient, and he says, imagination is much more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited to what we know and hold. And when I look back at Dhirubhai Ambani, who imagined that you could have a mobile phone at the cost of a postcard. Now imagine if you had not imagined that. We were paying 16 rupees 80 paise for call charge. I don't know how many people remember that. It started at 16 rupees 80 paise. But Dhirubhai Ambani came and said, no, let's do it at the price of a postcard. And today I think everybody has a mobile phone. From a plumber to a fisher, everybody, name it and there. So mobile has made life easy for us, and that was imagination. The other thing I want to touch upon as a business journalist in the last 25 years, I met with a lot of business leaders, iconic leaders. I've interviewed Dhirubhai Ambani, I've interviewed Ratan Tata, Narayan Modi, I've not interviewed, but I interacted with him, Subhash Chandra. What stands out with all these people is one commonality. Some of these people I mentioned, they're all from middle class people. They showed they could make it big. Whereas Dhirubhai Ambani who started life as a petrol attendant in Africa, and from there he said, I want to come back to India. He started Reliance Industries. He grew up its size, the Reliance industry. And here I must tell you, when I was doing a cover story for Business India, I was interviewing some people from Reliance Industries. So one of the colleagues, Mr. Balasubramanian, who's in Delhi, who is the corporate director, they had gone to meet somebody at the North Block, and Dhirubhai Ambani was with him. And this guy, Mr. Balasubramanian, was admiring one oil rig. And Dhirubhai Ambani asked him in Hindi, "Kya dekhta Balu?" He said, "Nahi sir, main oil rig dekhta hu." And he said, "Dada mat, hamare paas bhi ek din hoga." And that was just when Reliance just started, textile business. So he had the vision, and he could imagine that he could be a big man today. Similarly, other story I'm sure all of you must have known about is MS Oberoi. He started life as a clerk. at a similar hotel called Hotel Sicily. And one day he acquired a company. And today Oberoi chain, everybody knows, a very big chain in this country. What impresses me about Narayan Murthy is he showed that middle class guys can make money and you can make it legitimately. Everybody knows Nandan Nilekani is worth 7,000 crore and that 7,000 crore has come from ESOP or stake in the company. So I think ethics part is very important and vision is very important. When I look at all these people who I met, what comes out loud and clear is that they had vision. They could think big. At CNBC TV18, I do a program called Making It Big. Now this show has been running for nearly 5 years. I think some of you want to see it. You can see it tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the evening. So last 5 years I've done some 60 episodes with 60 entrepreneurs. And today I have some of the finest entrepreneurs here. So I don't want to advise them, but I also for the budding entrepreneurs and people who want to make it big. This story chronicles the success story of anybody who started from 0 to let's say 5,000 crores, 0 to 100 crores, 0 to... What impressed me about this, they're very inspirational story of all these people. Some of them had some different kinds of problems. How they overcome all the odds. Now the hurdles could be in terms of money, it could be in terms of technology, it could be in terms of people, it could be also family feud. And yet they all rose and they showed they could make it big. And I was particularly impressed with one or two companies. I don't want to name several, but I remember a company called Alchem Laboratories, and Keval knows it very well. The man who started Alchem Laboratories, Samprada Singh, his offices in Lower Parel, he was born in Bihar, in a small place in Bihar. He always wanted to be a doctor, and he couldn't become a doctor because he was not well educated. So the best thing he opted was to work for a medical store as a clerk, sales boy. But he had set his mind and vision very high that he wanted to be somebody big. He worked for a medical store for 20 years, finally came to Bombay, set up a small company. That company grew, and today Alchem Laboratories, top 10 companies in the country, giving a run even to the multinational companies. His one product, Taxil, has got 150 crore turnover, and his company is turnover something like 3,000 crore. It's an unlisted company, and many people have tried to get it listed. I think different should go there, but they are president also. So what impresses me about this man is, he didn't know anything about pharma business when he started. But today he's top 7. I think his number ranking is 7, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Similarly, there are other company which impressed me, the Delhi-based company. This company, what I call the story like to hell and back. They were very big players in Pakistan before the partition. They were in the rice business. And because of partition, they had to come back to come to India. And in India, they came to nothing. They were reduced to ground zero. So they stayed on the streets of Delhi near India Gate. The man's name is Anil Mittal. He set up a company called KRBL. And they worked for the last 30, 40 years. And today KRBL is India's leading basmati rice maker with a market share, leading market share. And the brand is called India Gate. So when you look at this company, you wonder, it's easy to make money, but ultimately it is hard work. It's a vision. You have to be. I think you can't take the eye off the ball. All the people who I've met, they are like, they are big, Mahabharata, Altina, very focused, intensely focused, I would say. But I've also got a company which I interviewed last week, again a Calcutta-based company, and this is quite a bit of revelation. He had a deadly combination. His family was a big businessman in Calcutta. He was, I would say, industrialist. He was the second batch from IIM Ahmedabad, 1967, and he had a joint venture partner from a Latin American country. He was into making what is called mill mining products. The company name is Vega Industries, unlisted company, again Clifton, For 20 years he ran the company, started some way back in 70s or something. Until 7 years back, his turnover was just 20 crores. And last 5 years his turnover was 800 crores. What I'm trying to say is this guy did not lose patience. They were focused. They knew, they had conviction. This is what I want to do. In some people, they're very lucky. They become overnight success stories. But be careful of overnight success stories is the most dangerous thing. I think we have seen a lot of people name coming in the paper today. So I think my take when I look at these entrepreneurs, people who are stuck and are doing their business and very focused, they make it big. They don't get carried away by so-called the peer group pressure. Okay, that person is diversifying into real estate, but diversifying into films, I should also do it and be part of the pastry. No. If you look at Ratan Tata, a very focused group, no unethical things. So you have to have an eye on the ball constantly without losing focus. So these are 3 or 4 companies that comes to my mind. And the other, one more company that impresses me is VATech Wapar, where the employer became the employer. And VATech Wapar is a listed company, I think it's got a turnover something like 2,000 crore. So when you go and meet these people, there is hopes, there is aspiration, there is inspiration, everything. Then you say, why can't I also do it? So some of the commonality which I found out, the successful people, which I noted down is, all of them work hard, work smart and work long. Now for example, Jeff Immelt of GE or Marissa Mayer of Yahoo. Jeff Immelt works 100 hours a week. Now Modi works, I think 123 hours a week, more than 18 hours a week. Marissa Mayer of Yahoo works 130 hours a week. Now, obviously, what separates men from the boys? This is one part of it. No shortcut. None of them do shortcuts. When I was interviewing Akhi Gupta of Havels, his father Kimatra Gupta told me, Ravi, 25 years of hard work is what I call overnight success story. What people think, Nare, you see, glamour. No, it's not glamour. You have to be at it constantly. The third thing is passion. All these people, they think, live, breathe their business. They don't get like Tega industry where I think a lot of people could have told him, what are you doing for 20 years? Go back to your family business. No, he did not. He was convinced this is the business he wants to be. So I think you have to find your domain. And also, all these people have a very strong domain knowledge. And also they are able to motivate the people around them. I think that is a very big thing I have found from all the businessmen. They're very charismatic, very magnetic. They know you can go. They can see tomorrow, today. And that is what sets them apart from the men from the boys. And finally, they're all intensely focused. Now, these are the mantras I have learned, but I'm not so good at doing business, so still I continue to be a journalist and bro. But Clifton is a smart guy than me. Before I just want to leave my thought here. There are 2 kinds of people. Those who remember names and those whose names are remembered. The choice is yours. So think big, think smart, and think long. That's it. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, Ravi. As I said, one of the focus area that we emphasize on is promoting entrepreneurship. The essay contest which we hold every year is to identify people or aspiring entrepreneurs with potential. We have one such person here, Altina Pinto, who had contested she was part of the 2010 essay contest. Thereafter, we have been mentoring her, and she has participated in all our mentoring programs, which with industrial foods, workshops, and personality development sessions. And we conduct a lot of industrial tours, and we use the buses of Walter Butello, the best buses and the best competitive rate. And we appreciate what he has been doing. And before we go to the next agenda, Altina Pinto would like to say a few words.
Good evening. Okay, it's a Saturday evening. I think so all of us are feeling very low. So good evening. Good evening. Well, I am Altina and I have been Well, I am Altina Pinto and I'm being mentored by Mr. Clifton De Silva, the reason as to why all of us are here today. The past 4 months at Altina Securities under Mr. Clifton has been a fun-filled roller coaster, and I'm not just talking about the ups and downs of the stock market, but also Mr. Clifton's sense of entrepreneurship, his never-ending patience, and his infinite knowledge. Since the past 4 months, he's taught me how to handle portfolios and to write research reports. I have enjoyed this journey up till now, and I look I look eagerly forward to learning about the derivative market ahead. Well, all of this wouldn't have been possible had I not known Mr. De Silva through the very same Altina essay contest that all of you all have taken part in. Mr. Clifton De Silva conducts essay competitions, workshops, seminars to bring out entrepreneurship to lead us into the next generation. It was one of these workshops that I have met such a versatile, knowledgeable, but humble man, and my journey had just begun under his guidance. Today is the beginning of your journey, and Mr. Clifton De Silva, through this prize distribution, wants to encourage and motivate you all to fulfill your journey ahead. Congratulations to all of you all, and hope you all have a nice evening.
Thank you, Alana. So we have almost passed the midway of our program. Now, our objective was to start at a particular point of time. We were a bit delayed. So the axe has to fall on somebody. It's going to fall on me. So therefore, my presentation will be cut short by more than 75%. Since I'm an organizer, I cannot absorb myself of saying something. So I'll make a very, very small presentation, and then we'll hear the two speakers, the chief guest, Now, as I said earlier, we are focusing on promoting entrepreneurship and investor education and awareness programs. Why? Because as far as investor education programs are concerned, what we have found over the years that in a country like India, very few people have the knowledge or are interested in acquiring knowledge to take informed decisions. Most of the decisions taken are based on hearsay, based on some tip, some recommendation, and ultimately they end, there's a disaster in investment, and they blame the equity markets for, and many people whom I met tell me that equity market, stock market is a gambling den. I beg to differ, because it is your approach. You can invest or you can speculate. The choice is yours. If you decide to speculate, then you're speculating on the price. If you decide to invest, then you are investing in a company. And if it is backed by informed decisions, you can make huge money. This is my personal experience. There are people whom I know, specifically, there are very, very instances. There's a particular, I meet so many people in the last several years. In the last several years, we have conducted over 1,000 investment seminars, interacted or met over 3 lakh investors. I have visited over several hundred companies to take informed decisions, and I have interacted with several hundred managements. So the importance of investment in informed decisions is what we want and what we advocate to an investor. Speculation is something that you speculate anywhere. It is not only the stock market that you speculate that you lose. Today, when you want to buy gold, you buy it for an occasion, either occasion of marriage or some important occasion. But there are thousands of people who are losing on gold when they are trading on the gold market. Similarly, when you buy currency for personal consumption, if you are traveling abroad, you require currency. You buy for you. But there are thousands of people who are losing on the currency market when they trade on the currency, when they speculate on the currency market. Similarly, when a commodity like sugar or rice, you use it for consumption. But there are thousands of people who make losses on sugar when they speculate on the price of sugar or when they speculate on the price of rice. So speculation is something which is totally different from investment. And the stock market offers also great opportunities if your investments are on the basis of information, informed decision. Meet the companies, and now I will restrict myself and I will just give you a few of my experiences when I have visited so many companies, the experiences and how generally investors take uninformed decisions and lose. Now, there are certain stocks, before I come to that, there are certain stocks that have excellent returns. It is unbelievable that an investment of rupees 10,000 in the year 1980 in Wipro is today valued at 600 crores. Mind-boggling. An investment of 9,500 in Infosys in 1993 is today 4 crores. So, therefore, an investment also in 1980 in the BSE index at 100, that is the basis 100, is today 27,000. So in a span from 1980 till today, your investment has grown 270 times. Whereas gold during the same period has grown 20 times. So therefore, when you take decisions, it also has to be informed decisions, and this is my experience. I will just relate a few examples. See, today, when we look at a country and we divide it into 4 zones, you have the east zone, you have the west zone, you have the north zone, you have the south zone. You find different cultures, different companies have different cultures. Each company will have a different culture. There are certain companies, certain north-based companies which will be very aggressive but lower integrity. There may be south-based companies which are conservative but higher integrity. There may be north-based companies, east-based companies, which are where you find the workforce more militant and the productivity is low. So where do you invest? What type of companies? Whereas on the west you may have companies which are aggressive with high integrity and at the same time aggressive with low integrity. Now I share a personal experience. There was a particular company, a Delhi-based company, which was engaged in a manufacturing